what you need to know before a hurricane actually rolls in here to the Sunshine State in Tampa Bay. Hi, I'm Katrina Madewell, and today we are going to talk about what are some of the things that you need to know to prepare for hurricane safety for you and your family before a storm actually were to hit. Tampa Bay has been pretty well blessed in terms of avoiding any type of direct hit with a Category 5 or some of these very large hurricanes that have hit other areas. The purpose of today's video is to let you know what are some of the things that you should be prepared for before, during, and after a hurricane were to take place. Now, the preparation part of it, in the preparing, meaning before a storm were to hit or even be in the box, so to speak, down near the Bahamas, is sign up for emergency alerts on ready.gov. There you can get notification on when a storm alert were to be approaching the Bay Area and have plenty of time to make those final last minute checks. Second, know your evacuation routes. So if a storm were to come, which way are you supposed to go for an evacuation? If it was a mandatory evacuation, you need to know that information quickly. So knowing that ahead of time will save you trouble in a frenzy when everyone else is also on the move. Emergency shelters. This one is really important because if you need to seek shelter at an emergency location, it's going to be really important to understand, for example, if that emergency shelter allows pets. Not all of them do, and they tend to fill up very, very quickly. So you need to know not only where the emergency shelters are, but is it a good emergency shelter for you and your family? Is it going to be sufficient? Or might you need to make alternate arrangements in the area should you need to vacate for a storm? Make sure that you have a full tank of gas. As storm season approaches, try to get in the habit of making sure that you don't get under a half a tank, and make sure that you fill up your gas tank or charge all the way to 100% early in the event of a storm approaching. Any medications that you have, you need to make sure that you have those on hand and that you have refilled those in advance so that it's not an issue and you're not running out of medication in a time where pharmacies and stores may actually be closed if a storm is going to be approaching. Have a meetup point. Where will you and your family meet up in the event of a hurricane evacuation? You need to have a meeting spot that you know you will go, especially if the storm approaches quickly and everyone is planning to evacuate where before maybe you were planning to stay. Also, you want to make sure you have a go bag, a ready-to-go bag in the event of an evacuation. A go bag is going to have a number of things included. I'm going to put that here attached for you in the bottom of this video or in the description so that you can have that information to further pack these items. And finally, just talk about a plan. Do you think that you will stay during a storm and ride it out? And if so, what type of preparation will your home need in order to do that? And at what point would you elect not to stay and actually evaluate? The last thing you want to do is sit around, watch the news channels. As this intensifies and that's all they talk about, have a plan right away that if the storm hits a Category 5 where it hits a certain number of mile-per-hour wind, or if your area is going to be in the cone or the path of the storm, you might just want to plan to evacuate. This is a personal preference and it largely depends on how familiar you are with the area, how many storms you've actually endured, or if you're a local like me that has lived here their whole life. The running joke is some of us may not take those storms as seriously. There's a lot of new people that move to the Tampa Bay area, so we want to make sure that you are fully prepared for a storm and an evacuation if you needed to in the event that it rolls in. If you want to get more information, you can just go to ready.gov and there'll be a whole bunch of information there on storm preparation, including many of the items that you need to pack. There's also a ton of resources on FEMA.gov. As always, if we can help, if you're impacted by a storm or you have any questions about preparation or hurricane supplies, feel free to check out some of these resources in the link below or reply back. I'm happy to give you my opinion, my thoughts, and some of the things that my family and I do to prepare for a storm as we approach the supposed to be very active hurricane season this summer 2024. I'm Katrina Madewell. Thank you so much for watching my video about hurricane preparation. Hopefully I brought you some value here. Please like, subscribe, or share this with someone that you know it could be useful to them and their family. Have a great day.